here because there's nobody to buy. But if the property market is high, and this is determined by many variables, especially the macro economy. When the money is in the market and people have money, like now we have market. There used to be a time when the market was very high for property in Entebbe, when you had the UN, and we are renting properties at a higher rate in dollars. Property rates went up in Entebbe. That is a fact of demand and supply. Now, if you see like Kampala here, you'll find that there are areas where properties are low. And this is determined sometimes by a depressed economy, when inflation is very low. As late as recent, inflation was at about 3.2%. And that means that the money in the market, circulation, the M2, the money supply, is restricted. The money, the economy, the demand, the buyers of that property will not be there. So you'll find that that again dampens the economy. But you are saying, how do you scale up? That was your question. How do you scale up the property market? Property market is determined by many factors. You can put up a very beautiful house, very, very beautiful, in Soroti, or in Gulu, for that matter. But who will buy it? So location is very important. You put up a very big house in Mukono, very, very big house, very beautiful. Who will buy in Mukono? It is the address which determines. So scaling up is determined by many factors, many variables, which drive the market prices. If you buy it, that's why you find that most people, even banks, when they're looking at value, if you have a property in Kololo, in Nakasero, in Naguru, and in areas like Ugorobi, and maybe a bit of Mienda, the bank will have appetite to lend you money because they know that there is a big sale. But if you are a little bit outside the scale of what you call the prime property range, if it doesn't matter what you do to scale up, the demand will not be there. So the private sector, which mainly buys these properties, has got many variables which determine the real estate market. But real estate market is capital intensive. To scale up, you need banks. And banks normally give you what you call rates which are high, depending on whether you're a greenfield or whether you are your credit rating, the CRB is good. If your CRB is good, the bank will give you money. And that you can now use to borrow money. That's why you find that there are many people here who have got a good CRB, and they build and sell. So those are factors that scale up what you call the variables in the real estate market. Hajat Aisha talked about capital mobilization. And remember I gave you that analogy of your network is your network. You know, there are people, in order for you to mobilize capital, you must be credit worthy. But if you want to go into a joint venture, most people go into a joint venture if you are honest, if you are trustworthy, if you are disciplined. But you have seen people who go into a joint venture within less than 1 year, even 2, buying it in Montalvo. Because one or the other is a bit greedy, is not sincere, is not honest, they get money and divert it. So some of the ingredients you need that drive capital and capitalization are embedded in the honesty. And I want to say that most of our people, especially the Muslim brothers and the Hajjats, have done very well in the private sector because of the honesty and the upbringing. The Quran and the Hadith teaches you honesty, what you call in Arabic, kawl.
You know, Nabi Muhammad, peace be upon him, ngali agenda n'agamba nti nno ebintu byange byonna bibantuma bikoze naye mbalekedde ebintu ebyo Quran ne hadith. Bw'obayo ekintu kyo ne kibula soma bayita ikra ojja bisanga biri wali. Abantu abasinga they don't follow the teaching of the Quran and hadith and they go against it. That's why you find that the Somalis practice business by word. They were signing andagano. And in the true Quran, there is no interest. It's just your word, your cow. So somebody can give you $5 million. In 10 days, even 10,000, even $1,000. Now, what about the saint? They will not pay that money. It becomes an enmity. So one thing about business is honesty. Abantu abali mu business abasinga tebalina mazima. So you'll find that I would want to give you money. Then was said when I give you money, to get that money back from you becomes harambe. So Hajat, I want to say that mobilization is good, but while you are in parliament, do not use parliament for only legislation, the 3 or 4 areas of legislation. What parliament is, appropriation, representation, and so on and so forth. Use parliament whenever you travel, when you are at the airport, when you are meeting people. Be versatile. Get to know who this one is. Have your card, discuss with them. Some people are very, very humble. In the aeroplane, you will find that that is a multi-billionaire. Number the genes. Omuntu osanga munyonyi tomumora. Konange mubanga ntambula mu genes ebichebyo. Naye very few people when I walk on the street, unless you know me. But very few people know who it is. But the person who taught me business was Nasa Sebagala. I worked in Sebagala, I was almost a houseboy to him. I was very, very clean. Sebagala was a very clean person. We sold racing canopies. Haji Nasa Sebagala was very precise. See that he was so I want to tell you one thing. To Papa, Bera Mukakamu, ebintu bikwate empola, business yetaaga okunyiiga, Bera Mukakamu. Omuntu anyiiga ku business tajja kuwangaala. A person who is patient will always succeed. So, if you see people who have succeeded, even in the Quran, even the messenger, Nabi Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a very humble person. Bera Mukakamu, if you want to succeed. That's the principle of capital. Capital follows those who are disciplined. Hajati, Hajati asked me, ate yabuliza mu Uganda. Era njamudiza jamudira mu Uganda. Era kino obuyonjo oli musajja muyonjo ngedde kumanyidde emyaka n'emyaka. Era njagala kwebaza ku bino byonna byetukoze. Lwaki tuwaana Rwanda? Lwaki buli omu yenna akuza Kigali? Yes, nzikiriza naawe. N'ekiva ku nkola eyaffe. Olaba abantu abamu Hajati anywa amazzi gano ge tuyita Rwenzori oba amazzi gaffe agaffe agawaza Rwenzori n'akasuka ecupa wabweru. Ate if she had waited, n'agiteeka munda mu motoka, n'atuuka w'alaga n'agiteeka mu kasasiro, ate they dispose it properly. There is nothing you lose.
You eat chewing gum and see a single beyond a single Rwanda, a Singapore. Tosobola kasikaire ka chewing gum mu kibuga. You will pay a very high price. Oba sigala wano nonya sigala n'ogikasuka Singapore. Obajja kuba fine tabangawo. Naye njagala kutegeeza ekibuga kyonna ekiyonjo kijja kukulakulana. Ne labayo enjawulo kuffe. Abantu abamu kuffe tebalina discipline. Alya what you call sugar cane. Ekikajjo. Nagira ng'akola ki? Ng'akasuka. N'ennyama avuga mu kubo.
Egumba.
N'agikasuka waggulu. Kwegamba olabira ddala nti obutaba na discipline. We have the laws, but the problem, Hajat and Honorable, is enforcement. The problem with Kampala, not that we don't have laws, we have the laws. Naye enforcement, omuntu n'ogenda n'okufumula ku kubo. Ekyo tosobola okikola e Rwanda. N'osanga omuntu naawe wennyini tabia mbi. N'ogenda n'okufumula even in a toilet n'okomawo. N'okwata omukyala n'onaaziza ku mukono. N'okwata omukyala n'omubuuliza oli otya. That is already, you can already see you're not clean in your hands. Okuta wachamu, oze n'okwata munno mu ngalo. Abantu abamu bagenda okulya, anaaba emikono ng'amaze okukola okulya. Kwegamba kisinziira ku mbeera. Kisinziira ku mbeera omwana gwe bamukuzizza. Bamaama, you have a lot of responsibility okuza abaana. Naye tugenda nga tukuze emiyaayu kati mu kibuga. Tetulina mpisa. Bavuma, bafuula, bakola ebintu ebitakwatagana n'embeera eri ku nsi, n'amawanga gali ku nsi. Naye bw'osanga omuntu ng'oyo agenze e Dubai, takikola. Bw'agenda Bungereza, takikola. Naye bw'akomawo wano, n'afuuka ate ensolo. I don't really see my point. So I think that Hajat, the laws, amateeka weegali, naye tetugakutte n'emikono ebiri. I think there is variance in this too. My sister from Soroti, or sister on the Soroti, partnerships and capital. How do we do this? How do we do this? I talked about it when we were talking about Hajat. Your network is your network. Get time when you get is an aiga nasa sebaka. Naiga Bukwan. Natula ni Bukwano Karamari Mugenzi Mzee. May so written down this. Nenji Gavin India Quata, Murawari, Sisaba and Nusu, Nalijiga. So, mentorship is a very important thing. Mentorship. For what are quick business? Nenga Tony Mukakam. Atenga o Papa. Tojakura. Abantu benkutebo na those that have worked with me. Era jakuna one time part ditatore na kora kone era yaige bintu bingi yajakuwulira. Yaige bintu bingi binafuuka musajja kakati kugaga mu Rwanda ali waggulu. Yes.
Your students,
Feedback. Yes.
Including my sister in the US.
Yes. Bantu basinga monna benkutte bakulakulanye. Kubanga bayiga ku byenjogera enkwatagana. Ate abakozi tobavuma, tobavuula, tobajerega, bakwate empola, bajja kuyiga. Bugubugu, akwate empola, kamukamu, sengendo, Hajat. Njagala kwebaza, simanyi wano gwange Latifu wali. Omukiikiridde. Naye njagala kutegeeza the boy girl and the boys, omulenzi ne muwala.
omanyi eddanga okusomesa era kino njagala baganda bange abasiraamu bakiige bulungi bali bateekamu ssente bateeka ssente ku mulenzi okusinga kuki muwala eyo yali tabiya nga kwegamba abazaire abatusinga mu ddiini ya busiraamu bali bamanyi nti omuwala bajja kutwala bamuwase kanteeka ssente kuki kumusika naye kakati this gender parity njagala bategeeza ntino n'omuwala bahajjata abasinga bali mu kikuubo bantu bamaanyi nnyo abalina ssente bamanyi kukwata ssente bulaba kati nga ono omukyala waffe Princess Mama Fiina naye muntu olabira ddala nti omanyi okukwata ssente president ono ku kampuni omwami tasobola okusalawo ekintu nga president aliyo era